We are now at the 5-minute mark, and our chicken is done. So I have cut my heat off, and this looks so delicious, you guys. It smells absolutely yummy. Here's everything that we're going to be using today. So we're going to be using some chicken broth. This is optional, crushed red pepper. I just like things spicy, so you guys can definitely ignore this. I do also have some all-purpose seasoning, ginger, garlic, and pimento seasoning. And you guys, I do have this on my Amazon storefront if you're not able to find this at your local farmer's market or Caribbean store. Black pepper, paprika for color, a little ginger powder. This is just some oil for sauteing, and this is vinegar for washing and cleaning our meat. This is 6 boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I will go ahead and clean up shortly. And this is about 2 teaspoons of chicken seasoning, you guys. And I'm trying out this chicken seasoning, so yes, you can use any chicken seasoning that you like. Here I do have some thyme. This is a habanero pepper, and I will not be cutting this pepper at all. This is going to be used strictly for flavoring and for the aroma that the pepper gives off. And this is just a lime that I'm going to use to wash the meat. First, I'm going to get started by removing the excess fat from the meat, and then I'm going to wash the meat using the juice of the lime, a little vinegar, and some cool water. My chicken is now cleaned, and I'm now going to wash it using cool water, lime juice, and some vinegar. Next, I'm using a piece of paper towel just to pat dry and to get rid of any excess water that's in here. Next, I'm going to add all the seasonings I showed you guys earlier to this bowl, and we're going to mix everything once done. So that's 2 teaspoons chicken seasoning, 2 teaspoons garlic powder, 2 teaspoons all-purpose seasoning, 2 teaspoons of the ginger, garlic, and pimento seasoning, a half a teaspoon of black pepper. This is about a half of a tablespoon of paprika, a half a teaspoon of the red pepper flakes, and again, you guys, this is optional. I personally just want a little kick in my chicken, but you don't have to use this. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and I didn't show this earlier. Next, I'm going to combine the seasonings, and I did not add salt to this simply because the chicken broth that we're going to be using later does have salt in there, and some of these seasonings does possibly have salt in there, so you can definitely add that if you want to, but I'm not going to add salt to this simply because some of the stuff that we use does already have salt in there. Next, I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil on here. This is about 2 teaspoons or so. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the seasonings to here. Now I'm going to combine evenly. And the purpose of adding the oil to here is just to help the seasonings to marinate properly with the chicken. Here's my chicken after seasoning it. Now I'm going to allow my chicken to marinate for 2 hours, but you can allow this to marinate for as long as you want it to. I have preheated my skillet over a medium-high heat, and I'm now adding enough olive oil, just enough to coat the pot. Now I'm going to add my chicken. Now I'm adding everything at once, you guys, but if you are doing a large amount, you may want to do this in batches, as you don't really want to overcrowd your pot too much. Next, I'm going to allow these to cook for about 5 to 10 minutes or so, as I do want these to get a nice brown color on each side. Now I'm going to flip these over. And I'm now going to allow these to cook for an additional 5 minutes or so. So now that the next side of our meat has a little color, we're now going to go in with about a cup of the chicken broth. Just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. We're going to add the thyme. One over there, one over here. And now we're going to add the pepper whole. We're not cutting this pepper. Again, we're using it strictly for the aroma. At this point, I have lowered my heat to a medium-low, and I'm now going to go in with about 1 teaspoon of fresh blend. If you have green seasoning, you can use that also. Just going to give this a nice stir. Guys, I'm adding about a ½ cup more of the chicken stock in here. And if you don't have chicken stock, you guys, you can use water with 1 chicken bouillon. Be careful, as they can be a little bit salty. Lastly, I'm going to cover this and allow it to cook for an additional 15 minutes or so, or until the chicken is done. You guys, our chicken is almost done. I'm just spooning a little bit of the sauce over it, and as you can see, the sauce is thickening up a little bit. So this isn't quite done as yet, you guys. I'm going to allow this to continue to simmer over a medium-low heat, and this should be done in about 5 minutes or so. Something I also forgot to mention, you guys, covering this and allowing it to simmer will allow the seasonings and everything in the pot to marry and come together. So this is going to be done in about 5 minutes or so. We are now at the 5-minute mark, and our chicken is done. So I have cut my heat off. And this looks so delicious, you guys. It smells absolutely yummy. As I did mention earlier, you guys, our sauce has thickened a little bit. And the reason for that is the brown sugar that we used in here. So our chicken is now done. And look how delicious that looks, you guys. And it smells even more delicious. So I would pull this from the heat or from the burner as soon as it's done, because if you leave it there on the hot burner, you guys, this little bit of sauce that's in here is going to dry out. So if you can, remove your chicken from the pot along with the juices as soon as it's done.